Hello, welcome to the House of the Spirit. Welcome home. This is going to be a very special reading today, specifically about your spirit guides and what urgent or very important messages do they have for you today. For me, this is also a very special time because I'm feeling something is changing in my spirit guides and maybe in the relationship I have with my spirit guides. So I feel like maybe this is somewhat of a collective energy. So if any of you resonates with this, or you simply want some clues or a message from your spirit guides today. So let's see what we will have for you. So for the first pile, we have Leo, we have Scorpio, Aries, and Gemini. And your card is Prison, number 29. The second pile is for the signs Pisces, Cancer, Aquarius, and Taurus. Your card is Main Person. It is number 2. The third pile is for the signs of Virgo, Libra, Sagittarius, and Capricorn. Your card is the Marriage card, number 3. Okay, so you can pick your pile with your intuition, with your favorite card, or with your zodiac sign, and I will see you in your reading. Okay, pile number 1, this is your reading. Let's start with some oracle cards. Okay, let's see, what do we have? We have Secret, Mystery, Stability, Protection, Solitude, and Ordeal. Next one we have is Darkness, Skipping Steps, Ego, Illness, Evil, Delirium, and Danger. And DNA, Sharing, Primordial Essence, Eternity. Interesting. Okay. Now for some fairy cards. Let's see. We have Titan the Sylph. Beautiful. And let's see. Oh, those are too many. Interesting. A lot of energy. Penelope, Dreamweaver. Beautiful. Okay, so now let's see your tarot cards. What does tarot want to tell you? What is your message from your spirit guides? Urgent or very important? Okay. Let's see. King of Bows. This is the King of Wands. With Adder. Then we have the Ace of Wands, Spark of Life, or Ace of Bows. Let's see if we can fit the cards here. The Forest Lovers. This is the Lovers card from this deck. The Five of Vessels, or Five of Cups, with Ecstasy. The Four of Bows, or of Wands, with Celebration. and the Ace of Arrows with the Breath of Life. Okay, we have a little bit of space here, so I guess I'll take some more tarot cards for you. The Journey, number 13. This is the Death card of this deck. And the Eight of Vessels with Rebirth. 8 of Cups. Beautiful. Rebirth and the Journey. Okay, pile number 1. This reading is for someone who has either very powerful people in their past or in their family or in their vicinity. I think you are surrounded by some very powerful energies, and I am saying this because you have Prison and then you have the King of Bows, and it just pops out to me that you have a lot of reptilian energy around you. You have the alligators or crocodiles surrounding the prison, keeping you inside. And you have the King of Bows with the serpents entangled. And to me, this card, it's very powerful, and it represents a little bit exactly power struggles. And I feel like this is your context. This is your like inheritance, let's say, because you have here the NA card. There's a sense of continuity. There's also this sense of isolation that comes from having such a heavy burden to carry, or being under a lot of pressure from your environment, either to live up to other people's expectations or to your own. Maybe you're very focused, or you have like very ruthless people around you, or maybe people who are not very considerate of your feelings, or maybe there's a lack of communication there. Maybe with the Secret card here and the Darkness, I feel like there's a lot of things that have to come to the surface. And that's when we go to Titan the Sylph and Penelope Dreamweaver. They're very different cards, and the energy is quite different. Penelope Dreamweaver is much more subtle. It's about daydreaming. It's about that liminal time where we get the downloads and information from our spirit guides. So this is also confirmation that this is about your spirit guides, because Penelope Dreamweaver and Titan the Sylph, they are both about receiving ideas and receiving messages, hints, synchronicities, being open to those more subtle cues that your guides are sending you. And Titan the Sylph is also about discernment and mental energy and rationality ideas. So receiving new ideas, but also being discerning and knowing which ones are the good ones and which ones are to be discarded. And I feel like you have to discard something. That's also the message here. There's something you need to discard. And I feel like this is what you need to discard is the lack of connection to others, because there's something in your life that's keeping you focused on objectives, on goals, and you are missing some opportunities to celebrate. And also, I feel like these opportunities are going to open themselves to you very easily, or much easier. It's going to be much easier for you to be open to that connection, to people if you allow yourself to, if you connect to yourself first. And how is this coming out? It's specifically with art. It's very, to me, it's very clear that this reading is for someone who might be a little bit shy or afraid to express themselves artistically. Maybe there was shaming or some sort of ego battles around your artistic expression. Maybe it's also hard for you to come out in that way, to project that image outwardly, because Four of Wands here is a lot about sharing, being with other people, and celebrating the bounty of life with others, not only your own. It's not your own, just your own victories. This is a victory that is collectively understood, and it's collectively lived. It's something that unites you with other people. It doesn't separate you from other people. So maybe if you choose yourself first, this will come naturally, this celebration. It's very interesting because it's quite similar, the feeling of being in ecstatic dance. It's so similar, right? Although this is a vessels or cups card and this is a bows or wands card, the light is a bit different because this has a fire that is shared by everyone. And the Five of Vessels has only the 5 little candles that you must light so that you can harness the power of the elements, the 5 elements, and concentrate them in your dance, in your art. So use your energy, focused energy that you harness from the 4 elements. Well, the 5 elements, of course, spirit. And okay, maybe what is missing here is exactly spirit, because we have the spark of life and the breath of life. And to me, these 2 cards are a perfect representation of the connection to spirit. So I feel like you have to reconnect with your, I was going to say ancestors, but I feel like if it's a specific, maybe it's a specific ancestor. Maybe it's not your ancestors in general, and maybe this is the message here. Maybe you're kind of stuck in a specific timeline and it has to be a different one. Because it's something that is hidden yet. It's not something that you know exactly what it is right now. So the advice is to be just very open and to allow that inspiration to come when you are almost falling asleep or just coming out of your nap or something like that. With the Dreamweaver here, I really feel like it's something that you will listen to while you are asleep. Not in deep, deep sleep, but just enough so that you can remember. Because I feel like your guides are also transforming. You will transform them. You will also transform something in your ancestors, in your spirit guides. There's a sort of a legacy that is going to be transformed because you have the DNA and the sharing. So maybe you have to find other people that connect to spirit in a way that you like, in a way that fills your cup. Because there's a search here that has to happen. There's a movement that has to happen, and it's transformation, and it's movement. It's a journey, right? It's going, touching a different reality. Let me clarify a little bit this part of the reading. What is this journey? What is this going to turn into? The Seven of Cups, mourning. So again, you have the message of transformation, and so there's death and rebirth. So first you have to go through the mourning, through the letting go of something. And this is also confirmed here with the Five of Vessels, right? There's a release, I feel like you have to not be shy. You have to not care about what other people think. I feel like you're closing a chapter even with your ancestors, and if you do this work, if you choose to let go and celebrate yourself, choose yourself first, your ancestors are also going to heal. They're also going to transform. I feel like you're going to discover you are triggering parts of your DNA, even for healing your body, for healing your cells, and also escaping a vicious cycle. And this will happen with this choice inspired by Titan the Sylph and represented by the Lovers card. Because there's a discernment, there's an inspiration that will come to you that you have to understand and channel in the right way and choose the right way to apply it. And then let go of the shyness and let go, not think anymore, not question yourself too much, and be open to other people's fire, other people's hearts. And I think that will spark a new connection to new ancestors, to new spirits, that will also help you move on from this vicious cycle. And your ancestors will also be able to move on themselves to other planes, because I feel like there's something kind of locking you in place with the prison here. There's some sort of fear or like a repetitive pattern of thought that is keeping you in place. And maybe you're like thinking that some people or some specific set of entities have a lot of power over you, when in reality they don't hold that much power. It's a choice. Yes. So your guides are inspiring you to make the right choice about how to keep your connection to spirit and to move forward with a joyous heart, with a sharing, with a fire that is shared. There's a sense of communion, maybe even of community, of group, being a part of something that is meaningful for you, that is warm, that is very inspiring, and maybe even something that has to do with your art or how you express yourself. It can be dance, it can be painting, writing, whatever, music. Okay. Beautiful reading. If you also like this Please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And like and share the video if it resonated with you. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye. Hi, pile number 2. Let's see what your reading has for you. Interesting. Okay. Let's see. Perfume, instinct, camouflage, sublime, liberation. Beautiful. Masters, deepest fears, bravery, temperance, selflessness. And songs, synesthesia, spirits, communion, and modulation. Beautiful. Okay. Let's see. Beautiful colors. Let's see what the fairies have to say. Maybe one more. Okay. The soul shrinker. Can you see it? It's a little bit out of focus. Okay. This is 55. Okay. And make the Myomancer. 42. It's a little bit out of focus today. Okay. The colors are already very interesting to me, and we have main person here as your card, your first card. So I think that this is something you have to leave behind. And there's a process here that's already hinting. Interesting. A lot to do with the senses. You have music and perfume, odor, temperance, healing. So guidance with the 3 of Pentacles. Let's see. Okay, like this. Then we see the rest. Laziness, 9 of Cups. Intensity with the Page of Wands. Receptivity with the Queen of Cups. Transformation. Card 13. It's like the death card of this tarot. So then we have experience, 3 of Wands. Maturity. This is the Ace of Pentacles. And control. The King of Swords. I think there's another card here that wants to come out. The 10 of Swords with rebirth. This card is very interesting to me. This card represents the 3 phases described by Nietzsche in Thus Spake Zarathustra. The 3 phases of man. The camel, the lion, and the child, the small child. And the camel is about someone who still wants to please society, who is very worried about what other people think about what they do, and is very stuck in other people's thoughts and ideas. While the lion is exactly the liberation of the societal pressures and the stereotypes that we try to fit ourselves into when we seek approval of others. And then the last phase is the child. And he's also playing an instrument. And we have songs here. So right away, I just have to say this because for me, this is so obvious. I think you have to sing your own song. I think you have to discover who you really are and be mature enough to think out of the box, to create your own structure out of the societal pressures of expectations that you have created for yourself also. And I feel like you have to focus more on your senses because you have the experiencing here, receptivity. There's a lot of embodied wisdom here that comes from experiencing the senses and instinct. To me, this instinct and synesthesia is really popping out in this reading. I feel like this has something to do with sound and music. So if you're a musician or a composer or a creative person, sound might be something very important right now. Making music, making your own sound, even singing. You can see here the waves, the frequencies. Receiving also, so kind of channeling what you are listening, if you are listening to a tune, to a song. And this will also be the moment where you will be the protagonist of your story. This is a story in which you are the protagonist because your first card is main person. It's a woman, but it can be also a very important woman in your life that will help you move forward in this process. But I feel like this is a mastery that will come to you once you are not really giving any time of day to any depressing thoughts, sad thoughts of others. If other people have something to say that is unhealthy for you, that I really feel like you have to hear, you have to listen to the right things so that you can transition smoothly into a sensorial process that is healthy for you. And then on the other side, when you want to create something, you have something beautiful to say, so much so that you can be proud of what you are doing, so that you can bask in the pleasure of just experiencing it. It can be like playing an instrument, your voice, you can be speaking, because I feel like you have to have the patience and the attention to detail to better yourself slowly. So you need that focus. You need to be positive. You can't be constantly listening to negative feedback or to have that own inner critic, run wild inside your mind and destroy your spirit and destroy your joy, your power, your will, right? The fruits of your labor, they're coming there, but there's this process of healing and transformation that is ongoing. And the soul shrinker is about people speaking badly of other people or of themselves, putting someone else down, putting yourself down, and just negative speech, like black speech, black speak. So it's something that is very toxic, and it just contaminates everything it touches. Every sound that you make with your vocal cords and with your mouth that is creating a negative vibration in other people's lives or in your own, this is what is, you have to master that. And with Mick the Mayomancer, you are being called to be very, very particular and detailed in your analysis of what you are saying or what you are listening to. So if you are near someone who is always speaking badly about other people and is contaminating your, even if it's not music, if it's not music and it's just your language, like your lexicon, you know, if you're just using words I'm sorry, I'm even getting a little bit, my speech is getting very confused because I feel like it's hard to pinpoint something negative that might be in your audible sensory environment, but you have to do it. You have to listen. Maybe it's also an invitation to listen more, so that when you speak and when you sing or when you create something, it's truly untainted. And it's very hard because you have the Death card and then you have the Masters. Masters is mastering your deepest fears, having the bravery, the courage to face the worst that you can think of. So, but this is the sign of the master, the true master, masters himself first. So if you don't want to listen to other people's negative ideas, negative thoughts, negative feedback, if you don't want to absorb that into your own life, don't do that yourself. Don't do that to yourself. It's good to be a perfectionist in a certain sense. It's good to try to do your best. But I think that in this case, you should forget that completely. And I think that maybe you have internalized a way of learning things that has to do with, you know, having guidance and following guidance to the T and being very like punishing yourself for feeling too much, punishing yourself when you can't do everything, you know, exactly as you're told, and interpreting that as laziness instead of understanding that you need to soak in other energies. That specific person might be very important as a guide, as a teacher into whatever you're doing, but she's limited or he is limited. I am saying she because main person here is represented by a woman, and it might be a very important, influential person in your life, or guide or teacher. But if not, if it's yourself, it's the way you work to make your dreams come true, to, you know, manifest what you want, and how you balance it with rest and receptivity and being in a more passive, but it's actually creative. To me, it's also saying that you will mature in this process and you will sing your own song. You will be your own person. You will build a structure that makes sense to you when you respect your whole scope of emotional, you know, all your colors, all the colors of your emotional landscape have to be included in this maturity. This is how you contain that creative energy in order to then express it in your own way, specific to you. I'm sorry about the noise. Today is very noisy and very windy. So this is how you detach from these pressures and you become your own person and you sing your own song or you play your own song. There's something really interesting that I think your guides are trying to tell you, that you have something very original and very creative to do, but you have to be more yourself and less in, you know, the expectations of society. You have to be more of a unique person, and maybe you will trigger a lot of insecurities in others because people will think you're weird, you will think you're weird, and it's weird, right? It's going to feel a little bit weird until it doesn't, until it's you, and until you understand that it's all part of you. But it's a process. I feel like it's a process more of being in touch with your feelings, not rejecting or repressing anything. If you feel uncomfortable, just go through it. Try to experience it so that you can transform it, own that emotion, right? And use it as a building block, like a little stone to build your castle, to build your structure that makes sense to you, that can hold you in your full glory and show off all of your colors. Very inspiring, very creative time, but it's very hard to push through. I understand it's very hard to push through and maybe see things that we don't want to see. Maybe we understand also that people around us are more negative than we sometimes want to admit. But if they don't want to do that work, that shouldn't stop you from moving forward. It's a lot about accepting others accepting others as they are, accepting yourself as you are, and realizing that other people's negative thoughts and opinions can only affect you if you yourself speak negatively of yourself to yourself. So your inner critic has to come under scrutiny. He has to go to court. Your inner critic should go to court and sit on that bench and not be questioned. Be like, why are you doing this? Go, deeper into that perception. Is it real? Like, is it that negative? Because what I see here also is that things are not as bad as you think they are. You are not as bad as you think you are. You just have to look closer and in more detail and be slower in your perception. Like seeing things in slow motion, you can see all the little mistakes, but also all the little beautiful things about you. Really cool. Thank you so much for this. And I hope you also enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And yeah, like and share the video if it resonated with you. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye. Okay, pile number 3. Let's see what the oracle cards have for you. Okay. We have origins, loss, trial and error, warrior spirit, and survival. Next one is, oh, again, interesting. It came up in the first pile. Darkness, skipping steps, ego, illness, evil, delirium, and danger. And the last one is healing, transformation, rebirth, confrontation, emptiness. Interesting. Okay. Let's see what the fairies have for you. Pile number 3. What do your guides want to tell you that is very important or urgent? Mickle a muckle. Interesting. Okay. Trial and error. Dark lady. Beautiful. Okay, this card, I'll have to do something to it. Sorry. I'm so sorry about that. Okay. So, let's see what the tarot has for you today. Okay. This one. The Tower. Right from the beginning. Interesting, the colors, right? 5 of Pentacles. Does it fit here? Let's see. Okay. We have the 7 of Cups. The 7 of Wands. The Star. And the King of Swords. Interesting. Let's get some more cards here. Ace of Swords. The Hermit. And the last card, the 9 of Pentacles. Interesting. I feel like this reading is telling us a story, and it's something that comes from the past, but its energy is still lingering, and it's very strong in your life right now. I feel like the Dark Lady and Darkness, they're together here, and interestingly enough, I think that they are showing me a ritual. Not a very positive ritual that was done. It can be something ancestral, but I don't know for sure. I think that without knowing, you might have participated, you might have participated in some sort of ritual or agreement, here with the marriage card, that a relationship with someone who was very negative for you. So your guides are challenging you to have a lighter approach to life, to understanding that what you had to go through was an experience, was something that went wrong. I don't think it's something that was meant to be that way. It just went wrong, and it was not supposed to be specifically for you. So the challenge here is to make to go through that experience, or to look at that experience in your past in a way that lightens the whole thing, the feelings around that. I feel like you have to choose what to let go, because you really had to stand your ground. You had to be more of a warrior, more of a fighter. And I feel like your guides are inviting you to be a little bit more light and childish and to play. I think they're inviting you to play, to not be so serious, because the dark lady in the darkness, it's like very serious. Five of Pentacles, the Tower. This section here is really heavy. It's about loss. And you also have here loss. But it's something that was meant to transform you into someone who would have a lighter grasp on things and not really attach yourself too much, because you're supposed to become someone else. It's very interesting. I think you're meant to cut your ties to your past and to that specific experience that you were unwittingly involved in, and I think you were not conscious of what you were being, involved in. So it's time for you to set your aim up high, work towards your ideals, search within yourself for the skills and the knowledge to use that sword, right? Use this sword to cut this ritual. And it's a mental sword, right? It's okay, this does not make sense. I don't identify myself with this experience. I am not what happened to me. I am who I want to be. I am an expression of my highest ideals. I have a vision for my life with the Star and the King of Swords. I have a vision, a very clear vision for my life. It makes sense. It's very rational. It's pure. Its intentions are good and pure. And with the Hermit and the Nine of Pentacles, it's very interesting because even the position of the person is a little bit similar. And I feel like it's time for you to recognize your skills, your abilities, to respect yourself above all, to have this self-esteem, because maybe this ritual, negative, black, dark thing that happened, it brought you down. It's kind of like a stain on your self-esteem, it's hard to come off, like it's hard to rub it off. I don't think you're supposed to. You're supposed to cut it. You're supposed to stand your ground and keep your sights high and be who you really want to be, instead of what people branded you to be in the past, because this context kind of made you into something you're not. And this is why once you transform, what's interesting here is that there's the confrontation here and there's stand your ground. So I feel like your guides are telling you that the way you go about cutting this from your life is through arguments. But it's not the tiring, argument that goes nowhere. It's like being very strict and stern, like, no, this is what it is. This is the truth. Don't gaslight me. Don't pull me into your darkness, right? Don't pretend like it wasn't bad. right? Don't make it into something it's not. Because here you have this woman looking at those cups, and some of the cups hold beautiful things and some of them hold poison. So it's up to you to discern, to know which ones are poison and which ones are good, are your riches. And this is how you develop that self-esteem, that self-worth that you know you have, but it's kind of hard to understand that you will define your self-esteem with your ideals also, because as you move forward in your life and as you acquire the skills and the knowledge and the wisdom to manifest your ideals, and you see, okay, now people see me differently, like I won, I have achieved something like that I wanted, and it's something that nobody can deny. You have proven yourself through that trial and error, and with that warrior spirit and survival spirit, that you can endure the loss of this ritualistic bond that is negative, that is pathological, and it's keeping you in this constant, what I feel is like it's a black hole. This part of the reading is like sucking all the energy, and it's never ending. It's sucking you towards it, and you can't really negotiate with this energy. You just have to cut it, because whatever happened, it wasn't your choice. You didn't really understand. So you can't argue with this, but you have to argue with someone. And well, of course, maybe first of all, you have to be strong about your convictions. You have to be clear, very strong-willed. And once you are more sure of what you can do, you can confront this. Yeah, so maybe it's not arguments, maybe it's confrontation. It's different, because you can confront an energy. You just have to be strong and keep, the boundary there, but you don't have to be involved, in the struggle. Actually, it makes much more sense with the mickle and muckle, to have, you're invited to play. Oh yeah, so that's it. So if this situation, group of people or a person wants to be with you, you have to set the rules. These are the rules of play, let's say. This is how I play. If it's more serious, if it wants to suck me into this drama, into this, just drain of energy, then you establish a boundary, you cut with it, and you go on your own way, and you look towards your pentacles, and you're joyful with what you have, and you're happy, and that's the way to go. Very interesting. Very, very interesting reading. Okay, so the Queen of Cups here, it's about divination, and it's about scrying and seeing beyond the veil. So I really feel like this has been something was done beyond the veil. Something was done with dark entities. It's very, very clear to me. So this is, for me, is confirmation that there's a manifestation here that was called upon. The Dark Lady is not necessarily bad. She just presides to rituals, and rituals have an impact on our psyche. And I think that someone invoked, it wasn't you, but someone invoked, there was an agreement made with something that wasn't good. It's creating a fantasy. It's creating something that is not true. It's so clear. I feel it so strongly. It's very rare. So I feel like your guides are really pushing this message, like, don't miss this, like, do, you know, follow the advice, don't skip steps, don't pretend that everything's okay. Okay, so the Page of Swords, yeah, it's more understanding the situation, studying the situation, learning. Well, actually, not the situation. So once you want to study who you are and something that is useful for you, focus on the ideals and not on this experience. Start with yourself and what you want. Start with what you want, with your dreams, not with what was. Or like the beginning of my life was like that, so I am doomed to repeat that pattern. I am like this. I am exactly as my family, as my parents, as my, you know, siblings or colleagues, or as they saw me. It's not true. You are transforming and healing. Yeah. Once again, so the Fool is really a brand new start. Your guys are saying you are allowed to start again. You have the power, the knowledge, the right ideas, the purity of intent to start again. You are like being given a blank canvas so that you can create a new life for you. Yep, and the Hierophant. So it's really a step up, and it's connecting you to your real guides, connecting you to your real spirit guides, to your real spirit and soul. It's coming into your body, finally, the whole of it. If you allow yourself to start fresh and don't define yourself by this specific situation, and understand that this is the realm of, you know, the clairvoyant, the mystics. They are the ones who, if you are yourself, of course this is also for you, but this is not something that you want to create in your mind as an ideal. It's just something that you have to be aware that it exists beyond the veil, but it doesn't define your dreams. It doesn't define your psyche, your emotional grasp on things. It doesn't define your skills, your abilities. It shouldn't limit you at all. It's just something that is there, that exists. It exists in the world. It's not meant specifically for you. You just happen to be there. You know? I don't even think you should be there. Yeah, so this is also something that's coming through. This is not meant for you. You should let it go. This is not your fate. Your destiny is not here. It's here. It's in connection to spirit, to God. Your true connection. Free of other people's dark patterns, and even free of other people's invocations. So beautiful reading. Thank you so much for this. If you also like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, please leave me a comment in the comment section below. I would love to know what you think about this reading, and like and share the video if it resonated with you. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye.